Hello, thank you for joining us for our fourth week of Wednesday Wellbeing. If it's your first time, welcome. It's great to have you here. And if you're joining us again, thanks for tuning in again this week. We've loved hearing your feedback and seeing your take on the exercises we've been doing each week. It's really encouraging. At #me, we so often encourage you to be honest and share how you're feeling with others. So I want to do that with you now. This morning we had some heartbreaking family news that one of our loved ones had passed away. I've had some time to process the news this morning and I'm going to do my best. I'm actually very grateful that we have our session today so that I have something to focus on. So this week we'll be looking at balance and perspective. Before we delve in, I just want to share a few things that make up our mindset. The way we think, do things, think about things, and the opportunities we give ourselves are some of the things that form our mindset. To start our session today, I'd like you to repeat to yourself out loud if you're able to. No amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. This can help us to try and let go of what's gone, be grateful for what remains, and look forward to what's on the way. It's the small acts of overcoming and achieving that will get us through this. And it's so important that we enjoy the little things in life and the precious moments, because someday we may look back and realise they were the big things. I'm sure for many of us we can look back at things or moments we perhaps took for granted. During this time, you may feel like you are failing or not doing enough with the time that we have. There's pressure to maximise our time by repainting and decorating, doing DIY, learning new skills and talents, exercising all day, every day, becoming the next MasterChef winner. A nurse, Rachel Rodey, recently shared her thoughts on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which can help us to reevaluate our priorities and mindset. Humans have basic requirements, which is at the bottom of the pyramid, and includes food, water, shelter and sleep, the biological basics. If these are met, then the next rung of the ladder is safety and security. If we feel safe and secure, then we can climb up and start on our love and belonging needs and feeling a sense of accomplishment. As we go up the pyramid, we finally get to the very top, self-actualization, which would entail all of those activities I previously mentioned, which we might be feeling under pressure to be doing right now. The idea with this pyramid is that we cannot achieve the next level until the current level needs are fulfilled. If the needs remain unfulfilled, we remain stuck on our current level until the situation changes. It's important to note that the bottom of the pyramid is our foundation in life. This base is what allows us to function and keep moving up the pyramid. I think we'll all agree that in the midst of a pandemic, we are very much at the base of Maslow's pyramid. It's unrealistic to think we'll be able to achieve the highest level permanently during this time, when some of us can't even find toilet paper, let alone feeling safe and secure. This is why balance is key. It's important that we don't try to overdo it, set our expectations too high or push ourselves too much. It's very unrealistic to think we'll be living our best life right now, every day. At the moment, our aim should just be to live. For parents, you may feel like you are failing by not keeping up with all the work that's being set or doing homeschool all day, every day in the week. But according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your children will be needing those basic requirements even more during this time. Food, love, security, comfort and rest. And so will you. Make sure you focus on those. That pressure we might feel to make every day count. Well, every day you are here counts, and every breath you take counts. We need to give ourselves a break. Instead of setting ourselves up to fail by overfilling our time, having so many things on our to-do list, or pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones too often, let's focus on our basic needs. Washing and getting dressed, trying to eat some fruit and veg, drinking enough water, having good quality sleep, getting some fresh air when possible. Consider your wellbeing bank that we spoke about last week. Start with those and be gentle with yourself. We'll get through this, and right now, getting through is absolutely enough. We may be using this time to make some positive changes in our lives, and this is so great. But often we take drastic action and we want to see significant change, so we spend a lot of time, energy and effort going all out to achieve something. However, by fixating and spending the majority of our energy trying to maintain an extreme end of the spectrum, we can develop an unhealthy perspective. Living like this is unsustainable and can be emotionally, physically and sometimes financially draining as you're constantly burning yourself out. Life is all about balance. Try to avoid feeding the extremes with your energy and instead anchor yourself in healthy habits that ground you, feed you, support and lift you so that you can achieve a sustainable positive change. I'm just going to allow some time now for you to think of anything you could have a more balanced approach to. I'll give an example with eating. You may have decided to use this time to improve your culinary skills and eating habits. You start the week and your day off by having a nutritious fruit smoothie bowl with fresh ingredients, followed by lunch that you meal prepped the night before and is packed with vegetables and protein. Your dinner is a 3-course meal. Your starter is a medley of fresh ingredients that takes half an hour to prepare. Your main course was soaked overnight and cooked throughout the day, and for breakfast, an exotic fruit bowl. Anyone else hungry? All requiring a lot of time, commitment, energy, and it's fairly expensive to keep up. Then towards the end of the week, you may skip breakfast, grab a quick snack of crisps and a chocolate bar for lunch, accompanied by Red Bull. Dinner, which you eat an hour before going to bed, is a fast food takeaway after your 5th or 6th cup of coffee. Not very nutritious, healthy, or sustainable for our mind and body's needs. Both of these can be seen as extremes. Instead, in this example, we could try and aim for a healthier and more sustainable balance, rather than binging or splurging at the extremes. So I'll just give you some time now to have a think about anything you may have an unbalanced approach to. This could be your diet, exercise, work, shopping, relationships. When you've identified it, try and consider how you could have a healthier balance. Just want to say good morning to those that are watching and have left a comment. Hi to Lawrence and Karisha and Saroja. Hi to Tony, Letitia and Jack in South Africa. Thank you for that comment. Okay. So hopefully you've had some time to jot down your thoughts. In order to maintain a healthier balance, we need to ensure we aren't taking too much out of ourselves while still pushing ourselves towards our goals. It can help to try and establish boundaries to keep us balanced and to minimise the risk of acting on extreme ends of the spectrum. So, looking at shopping as an example, instead of buying lots when we are bored, sad or lonely, we could set ourselves a weekly limit, for example, and use the time in the week when we are feeling like that to browse around online and then only commit to 1 or 2 things that are within our budget each week. This sustainable boundary can help us to minimise regret and financial strain while still allowing us to do something we enjoy. Something else which can affect our mindset or perspective is comparing ourselves to others. A phrase often used during this pandemic is that we are all in the same boat. It's important to remember that we are having both a shared experience and an individual experience. Yes, we are sailing in the same storm, but perhaps not in the same boat. There are parents and non-parents, those who struggled with mental health challenges before this, and those who are needing anti-anxiety medication for the very first time. There are those who have access to a garden or park, and those who haven't been outside or seen nature in over a month. Some are quarantined with loved ones, and some are alone. Some are bringing in extra money with endless overtime. Others are working more hours for less money due to pay cuts or loss in sales. Some no longer have a job. For some, being in quarantine is ideal. It provides a quiet time for reflection, reconnection, enjoying their lifestyles. For others, this is a desperate financial and family crisis. We're all figuring this out as we go along. None of us know. It's all new. Each of us will emerge in our own way from this storm. We are experiencing a very different journey, so don't assume everyone has the same boat as you. And definitely avoid comparing your boat to others and how they are handling the situation. But something we do all share is that our feelings are valid and they matter. All pain and grief is valid. You are allowed to be heartbroken over cancelled plans, even as others are heartbroken over cancelled jobs or lost loved ones. It's important to put everything into perspective. I'm not sure about anyone else, but for me, the weather can really affect my mood. Normally, I would have been sad that it's not blue skies, that I can't have the windows wide open and eat my lunch outside in the day. But if I change my perspective, I've done a lot of gardening recently and need to water the plants and herbs. Not having an outside tap has made it quite time consuming and tricky. But now, thanks to all this rain, I don't have to worry about it. The car is also getting a much needed clean, and it's allowed me to sit cuddled up with a blanket in front of my Netflix fire in the evening, feeling all snug. So actually, when I think about it, I'm probably grateful for the rain. We're going to have a look at a concept by Jackie and Aaron Schiff, which refers to our frame of reference and our filter on reality. Several things affect our perspective, which then makes us see and approach things differently. I'd like you to draw 4 squares, one inside the other, similar to this. I'm then going to read out some different factors, and I'd like you to place them in the squares you have drawn. Those factors closer to the core, in this square here, are things you believe affect your attitude and outlook the most. Those factors you put in the outer squares have a lesser impact on your perception and the way that you approach and handle things. Everyone's will be different, and it's likely to change throughout your life. Try not to think about it too much and just place the following 12 factors in the box you feel most appropriate in terms of how it affects your attitude and your outlook. Gender is our first one. The next factor is hobbies, likes and dislikes. Morals and values. Family circumstances. Religious views. Mindset. Aspirations. Age. Achievements. Nationality. Mental health. And the final one is relationships. I just want to say thanks to those that have joined us. I'm really glad to hear that the weather affects some of you as well. And thank you as well for your sympathy. Really appreciate it. So just look at your answers now. Do any of them surprise you? Try to consider these in the future when making decisions, reacting to situations and interacting with others. Remember, they will have a completely different frame of reference to you, and they might be seeing it from a different perspective. Broadening our perspective can actually increase our rationality, and our ability to think rationally and sensibly during this time is so important. So our coping strategy suggestions are simply this. Cater for your basic needs. Put the base foundation of Maslow's hierarchy of needs as a priority for yourself and those around you, and don't be so hard on yourself. Try to avoid comparing yourself to others, and certainly don't judge others for what they are or aren't doing during this time. Everyone is different and unique. And finally, when you have a negative, worrying or upsetting thought, why not try to think of it from a different perspective or with a different mindset? If you're sad because you are missing friends and family, just think about how much more you will appreciate hugging them, visiting with them and enjoying their company when you're able to again. For those worrying about keeping up with homeschool, or for those who are missing school, imagine how much more you will appreciate those lessons at school and being in that learning environment, and how wonderful your teachers are. When you're sad that you can't go out for a date night, just think how much money you can save right now by having creative date nights at home or virtually. It's so important that we value the lessons and challenges of these past few weeks and create a renewed mindset. To love harder, always be kind and supportive, to be more grateful and truly appreciate the little things that we so easily overlooked a few weeks ago. We are now going to do our breathing exercise. If you feel comfortable doing so, please close your eyes to minimise distraction and to increase the focus on your own body. You are in a safe place. Although there might be noises or distractions, try and ignore them and focus solely on your breathing. Bring your awareness to each of your breaths. Alternate between normal and deep breaths a few times. Inhale for 3 seconds and then out again for 3 seconds. Now try to breathe in for slightly longer. Inhale for 6 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out again for 6 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And take a normal breath again. In for 3 and out for 3. Can you notice any differences between your normal breathing and deep breathing? Try to slow your breathing down now and take deeper breaths each time. As you repeat this, place one hand below your belly button, keeping your stomach relaxed, and notice how it rises with each inhale and falls with each exhale. I want you to imagine yourself in a beautiful location where everything is as you would ideally have it. This is your happy place. It's filled with good memories, Picture yourself being there, smiling and laughing, having a good time. As you continue breathing in and out, just let these thoughts play around in your mind. You're going to get through this. You are doing a great job. Take in your environment and all that you are grateful for. You can imagine that the air you inhale brings waves of peace and calm throughout your body, and the air you exhale washes away tension and anxiety. As you breathe in deeply, imagine breathing in rest and relaxation, and each time you breathe out, let out a sigh through your mouth. Inhale goodness and opportunities, feeling your abdomen expand as you breathe in deeply, and as you breathe out, imagine breathing out everything in your life that's negative and unhelpful. Just focus on doing that for a few breaths. Breathe in positivity and hold on to that. Now breathe out negativity and release a big sigh as you exhale. Your mind and body should now feel more relaxed, calm and peaceful. We're slowly going to return to the room by focusing on our feet, which are on the floor. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes again. And welcome back. So today we've looked at the importance of having a balanced lifestyle and how we can achieve this. We also looked at how we can widen our perspective by being more aware of our frame of references and how we can have a more positive mindset. And most importantly, that we need to cater for our basic needs right now. Next week, we'll be exploring self-image. So I'm just going to leave you with a final thought that's sticking with our boats and storm analogy from earlier. We want to remind you that ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. So don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. I'm sorry that we've run over again. I promise next week I'll try and stick to 15 minutes, but thank you for tuning in. I hope it's been helpful. You can rewatch any of our previous videos by visiting our YouTube channel. Please get in touch using our social media or email us if you or someone you know is struggling. Take care and stay safe.